What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Changemakers, episode number 17. We've got a very special guest today, Denzel Henderson. As you guys know, Changemakers is about shows are about people that are creating change in the world, that are going to motivate you to do more, to be better, to feel better, to understand that we all have the power to be the change we see in the world. This show is not about politics. This show is about people that are out there doing amazing things and out there motivating the world to make the world a better place. I'm super excited about having Denzel on. Denzel and I have been friends for several months now, actually. I got to spend his birthday. You might have seen him before. We brought him up on Be the Change for his birthday. I think you guys are going to really enjoy his message because it's about love. It's about kindness. He's a super inspiring guy. I catch his calls once in a while, and when we talk, I always leave happier than before I started, especially in this dark year that was 2020. But he's a motivational speaker that has cerebral palsy, and he's an amazing young human being. He speaks on tolerance, love, peace, and daily he goes on different Facebook Lives. And I can't stress enough how much you guys are going to enjoy this episode. So share this out there. You don't have to worry about any political issues or being afraid to share it. This is the show you share to all your friends because it's sharing inspiration, it's sharing positivity, it's sharing love. So make sure you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, you hit the heart button, do all those good things, and we will get started. Help us out by making comments in the box so we see where everybody's from. I see Tina, Tim, Rose, Susie. I'll call you guys out in a second, but for now, let's go ahead and get the show started. What's going on, everybody? My name is Anthony Michael Russo from Be the Change USA. This show is going to be a lot of fun. I am very excited to have Denzel on. And if a lot of you guys might know the origins of Be the Change, and Be the Change's concept was to enact action, allow people to be the change that they wish to see in the world, allow people to realize that we have the potential to be so much more, and to motivate and inspire ourselves to do that next step. Be the change internally. We've had weight loss experts. We've had people that are living like they're dying. We've had people with terminal illnesses. We have had Daryl Davis that has inspired people to leave the KKK. Essentially, we are finding people that are creating change. That is what a change maker is. That's what all of you have the potential to be, and some of you, and most of you already are just by being a part of our group. So before I introduce him, I want everybody, I'm going to give little shout outs, people. We got Tina, Tim, Rose from Illinois, Susie, what's going on in North Carolina, Apple, always good seeing you, my friend. Let's see, Brenda, Kelly Harder, Lori Wheeler, Deborah Elliott in Iowa. What else we got? Tacoma, Washington is in the hizzy. Joanne D'Amato, Sharon, I skipped some. I don't know how I missed a bunch. Sorry about that. Going back up. Oh, there's a lot. Megan from Nebraska, Ashley Thompson, Kimberly, Rhonda Smith, Shauna Lewis, what's going on? Katrina Schenk, Jennifer Kapp, Donald Houghton, whatever, you got me. Sherry Clark, Bella, Sue, Amy Young, Sharon Burchett, Shannon in Michigan, Joanne D'Amato, I think I said that, Rebecca, Kat, Melanie Richardson, Tammy Town, Cher, Pat, Ashley Thompson. I just want to say all the names because I want Denzel to realize how many people are excited to hear him speak. Heather, Joe Rizzo, Ashley Thompson, Jason Lawrence, Judy, etc. We got more and more people coming in. So last reminder, please hit the like button, hit the hearts as well. We do have another show tonight. We have an episode of Conservengers coming up at 9 o'clock Central Time or 10 o'clock Eastern. But again, this show is not about politics. Sorry, April, I see you. Sherry, Josephine, etc. This show is one of our podcasts as well. So our podcasts are now back in action. They are going back up. So make sure that you are following our podcast page, which is very simple to find. It's #BeTheChange.com/podcast. It's usually up within a couple days of this show. Lastly, if you'd like to check out the merchandise, #BeTheChange.com. Click on the shop at the top of the page. We do have those free Cashley Kelly shirts right now if you want to check those out as well. What else we got for you guys? I think that's just about it. I'll be sharing Denzel's information as well once we get him up here. Anything else? Any other housekeeping I got on there? Yeah, I know. We miss Cash as well. Hopefully he'll be back sooner than later. But without further ado, I am very excited to bring on our guest. And please feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to keep an eye out for them in the box. Thank you, Carol. You rock. I'll be giving Cash updates tonight on Concert Vengers. But with Denzel in the house, I want you guys to get excited. If you're at home, I want you to applause, and he'll hear it, I'm sure, spiritually. But he's going to answer any questions you might have, anything from how he feels as though it's important to motivate people to any questions you might have about cerebral palsy. And we'll talk about what he wants to do with his life as well. Constitution class is Primetime Patriots. If you want to find out about that, just try to message Streetlights or us. We'll figure it out. Anyways, ladies and gents, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Positivity, Denzel Henderson. What's up, buddy? He's very excited. How you doing, brother?
Hi, everybody. How are you doing today?
How's everybody doing? I think everybody's doing good. Go ahead.
I would like to say thank you, Anthony, for bringing me on. You know, I'm a little excited, and my voice can kind of go up and down. So, and you cannot hear me. To know that you can. I know everybody that's going to them in the world, but just know that there's somebody out there that listen to you and that want to hear what you say.
Exactly. We just want to have people listen to each other, and that's what's great. What Denzel didn't know until recently is that my father was disabled. My father had multiple sclerosis. So we started talking a little bit more about that and being a voice and having the opportunity to be a voice. But Denzel, how long have you been a motivational speaker for? And I'm going to go ahead and put your YouTube page in the box now, but how long have you been a motivational speaker for?
For 6 years. I love to make a difference.
So you've been motivational for 6 years.
In people.
Why did you want to be a motivational speaker?
Because I could not find my purpose until I met this person named Gary, and he helped me find my purpose. Without Gary, I would have lost my life. Because the thing about life is, when you don't know why you're here, you get frustrated, you get depressed, you feel hopeless. So I know when some of y'all out there, they're feeling down. We get the coronavirus, but the thing of it is, we can do this. You know, stuff gonna happen in life. You know, sometimes in life, you gonna go through stuff. Life is not gonna be peace and carrots always. You gonna go through stuff in life. And I want you to understand, my life, me having cerebral palsy, I had 6 surgeries in my life. I deal with kidney stones. So, about 5 years ago, I had to get a piece of my rib cut out because the kidney stone was so big. But I'm still living. And God still gonna a job for me to do in the world.
Yeah. And if anybody was just to reiterate what he said, he was talking about coronavirus. He's talking about this last year and talking about having cerebral palsy. And he said, it's not always going to be peas and carrots in this world, plain and simple. So you're going to have to find a way to do better. And that's part of why he wanted to get into motivational speaking. He met a guy by the name of Gary. I met a guy by the name of Gary on an elevator, and that's where he found his purpose. Now, before so you're 27 years old, right, Denzel?
Yes.
Yeah, so when you were
Yes.
21, you didn't know until you met Gary what you wanted to be and why you wanted to be it. So what were you thinking that you wanted to be before when you didn't have your purpose? What were all the different things you were thinking that you wanted to be in life? Thank you, Chris.
I wanted to be a police. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be a doctor. No, let me go back to the police officer. Let me tell you why I wanted to be a police. Because my grandfather, he was a police. He used to direct traffic when he was police. So when I saw my grandfather with the uniform and he put something in my soul that made me want to be this police officer. And then I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be anesthesiologist. Cause I live there and they put people to sleep when they're about to have surgery. When you go on anesthesia, you can't feel nothing. So thinking of anesthesia, when I had my last surgery, Mama, from my kidney stones, I was under anesthesia 8 hours, 8 hours, being asleep. But I came out of it and been at the anesthesia. You don't know if you're going to come out, but by the grace of God, I'm still living. And my second dream, my third dream, was to be an offensive coordinator because I get tired of the best losing. So I wanted to be a coordinator for the football team. I know I can be a coach. I can be a life coach.
And then, well, I mean, technically you are a life coach. You became a motivational speaker. So I want you to know, Chris in the comment box said, Denzel, you're an inspiration. You've got a lot of people saying you answered your call. This one was a good one. You answered your call, Denzel. And if anybody gets the chance to follow him, and I put his YouTube in there. How often do you go live? Like once every couple days or so? Is that about right when you do your motivational talks?
I only go live when I don't know. I only go live when I feel led to. I don't really go live like I don't really go live like I go live when I feel led to.
When you feel led to. So when the spirit hits you, you go live. I get it. You got to feel led. And I've probably watched 2 or 3 of your lives, and then I talk to you once in a while on here. And there's something about when you talk, I always leave in a better mood, and I always know sometimes that I can't pick up, and I always go, I know that I'm going to feel better if I could just hear your voice and talk to you. And I'm always like, I need to get back and talk with Denzel. So everything you say just makes me feel better about the world, because really what you talk about is love and kindness, and you've got a couple things that always hit your heart. Well, one of the things you said that you like to talk about never giving up. So why do you like talking on the subject of never giving up?
Okay, one day I was on suicide watch. I went to the hospital because I told my doctor that I thought he said vengeance, that I was gonna roll my chair down the stairs. And so when I was in the no, I was going no when I was doing that day, I was going to see my counselor to talk to her about how I was feeling. So after I went to see her, I went to tell the nurse, I'm thinking about it not go home. I'm thinking about rolling my chair down the stairs because I feel hopeless. I feel empty. But the day coming in, I want to say this. I don't know how many of you guys believe in Jesus Christ. But I want to say this. If you feel like committing suicide, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody so they can help you to get out of that funk. Get out of the, get out of that funk in your life because committing suicide is no good. No good at all. Because you're here for a purpose. There's a reason why you wake up in the morning. There's a reason why you get up in the morning. There's a reason why you're here. You might be on a job and you don't like the job. But the thing of it is, you got to understand. You got to provide for your family. Your family is the most important thing. You might not like your job. You might not like where you at. But I want to say this. Sometimes you gotta do stuff that you don't like to do. And I want to say that to you. And you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like getting up. And I don't feel like getting up. But I'm gonna tell you why. Cause you got somebody that lay there gotta wait on somebody to get them up. So you can take advantage of your life, take advantage of your abilities in your life. Cause I gotta lay a bill. I gotta lay a bill and wait on somebody to get me up. It's not easy. So if you thinking about tomorrow morning, if you thinking about tomorrow morning, I don't feel like getting up. Think about this video. Think about what I'm saying. You can you got a choice to do what you need to do in your life. There's no excuses for you. You don't have no excuse. You know you know you don't have no excuse. Just because you don't just because your brain might be hurt. Just because you feel like you want to get more sleep. You feel tired. But you gotta get up because think about this. Somebody is somebody is depending on you to make their day. Somebody is depending on you to say a word of encouragement to them. Somebody depend on you to be the lady. Somebody in a dark place right now. Somebody feel like giving up. Somebody somebody in a dark place. So when you get up in the morning, then think about it. I could be that life for somebody that want to give up. Okay.
That was awesome, Denzel. Thanks. You never know when people need to hear certain messages. So, and every time I talk to you, once in a while, not every time, you get me to get some tears going. So, thank you for that. Um, it's important when you get going on a message, Denzel. It's interesting when you talk. Sometimes it is hard to hear you, but when you start feeling led, and when you actually are really preaching to people, and I know that you talked about Jesus and God and how he comes through you, and when you feel led to do something, it's amazing how crystal clear your voice becomes when you have a specific message that people are meant to hear. And I think that's very interesting to see. So thank you for that. Also, the other thing, well, first off, before I go to the next thing you like to talk about, Kelly did have a question for you. It was, how many people do you live with? So I know that you have people that help. Obviously, I think it was your aunt or your grandma that I saw one time?
Yes.
Yeah. How many? And I think I saw your nephew. How many people are there?
Um, if I can't, like, me, my grandma, my auntie, my uncle, my sister, my nieces and my nephews, and who else? And me.
So you got a full house over there. Does everybody help out a little bit with you, and then you kind of help out with them by being the positive human being that you are?
Let me say something. Like, sometimes in my life, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a story. My oldest sister, she, she, she 34, and when I was a little boy, my oldest sister used to always take care of me. And, and I just want to put my story out there because my story is not what you see. I don't have happy days every day just because I'm a motivated speaker. Doesn't mean that I have happy days. We all, we all go feel, we all go get depressed every now and then. But the thing of it is, you get to realize when God wakes you up and you can see and you can breathe, understand you got a purpose to be on this earth. You know what it says in the Bible. I got a prayer for you for a hope in the future. You know, it says, lean down to your understanding. All your weight and knowledge me, and I will direct your path. Okay, you want to talk about dreams? I want to say something. You know, I'm I'm a spiritual guy, and I'm gonna say this. I know we got big dreams, but have you ever stopped for 1 second to ask God, what is your purpose? What is your will for my life? I don't want my will. I want your will. Desire might be good for me, but what's your desire for me in my life?
What you're essentially what you're asking is what people's purpose and what their will for God is in their life, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
my
that's the
main message.
go ahead.
I want people to know it's not about us. You know, to think about life. We, you can do anything. You can be a good person. You can, you can give a lot, but that don't get to the the, the only thing will get to the heaven, the grace of God, and having a relationship. You gotta believe that He down cross and rose again from the dead. You have to believe that He died for your sins. You know, cause just because you give so much love, doesn't mean that you want Him. Just because you be so good, doesn't mean that you want Him. You only go to heaven by the grace of God and believing that He died for your sins.
So
Oh my
I want
God.
to can I ask you a hard question, Denzel?
I don't, I, I don't mean to preach, but I feel the Holy Spirit. Okay,
I
go
got
ahead.
so before my dad passed away, he battled MS for 40 years, and he went through some of the same thoughts that you did at times of like, why am I still here? Why am I suffering? But ultimately, he had a reason why he felt as though I did a video of my dad, but he felt as though God gave him his disability for a very specific reason, and he thought it was meant
Yeah,
to be. Do you feel the same way about God giving you cerebral palsy?
you know, I'm gonna say this. God made no mistakes. God, God said you are no mistake. God don't make mistakes. He don't, he don't deceive. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. God don't deceive. He knows what he does when he brings you in. He knows the reason why you born. He knows, he know you when you were, he knew you when you were in your mother, when you were in your mother womb. He knows all about you. He know, you know, it says in the Bible, your ways are not my, your ways are not my ways. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. Jesus knows what we thinking. He knows what we going through. He knows that time that we going through a difficult time. You know, Jimmy, I want to say this. Everybody cries. You can cry. It don't matter. Everybody cries in life. Even Jesus cried because he was on the cross. He was like, my God, why have you forsaken me? And he said, please forgive those because they don't know what they do. So Jesus forgave you on the cross.
You know what's funny, Denzel? I gotta tell you something. It's like I just heard my dad talking. I haven't heard. He used to always say that. He would say, "God makes." So my dad had a very New Jersey accent. He was very Italian, and he would say, "I'd ask." We'd have these conversations, and he would talk about a disability, and he would kind of clap his hands, and he would say things like, he specifically, the words he would always say is like, God makes no mistakes. So it was interesting to hear you say that. We do have a question from Sherry Clark, and it's a cerebral palsy question. Were you born with cerebral palsy, or did you get it from an accident when you were very young?
Let me say this. I was born with cerebral palsy, but when I came out of my mother's womb, and when they diagnosed me with cerebral palsy, they said I was in lab past the age of 14. They said I would never talk. So I don't know where the hell that is because I'm living.
That doctor was wrong. Yeah, that's good stuff. Let's see. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate you. She said you're speaking the truth. Let's see. All right. Any other things? That's the truth, Ashley. All right. Let's see. I have a couple more questions. Oh, what's up?
No. Let me go back. You had somebody else. Can you be born with cerebral palsy?
Oh yeah.
Cerebral palsy. Is not. You can't get it by shaking somebody in, and that's contagious. So I want to say this. So a person with cerebral palsy can have kids as well. I have a friend that had a baby, and she was in a wheelchair, and she had cerebral palsy, and she gave birth to a healthy baby. So because you get cerebral palsy, it doesn't mean that your baby will come out with cerebral palsy. Not contagious. You cannot catch it. You can't catch it by shaking somebody. You can't catch it by shaking somebody. You can't catch it by giving somebody a kiss. You cannot catch it. And not contagious.
Right. It's not a transmissible. Is it Denzel? Cerebral palsy is a genetic thing, correct?
What do you mean about genetic?
Like, so they can tell. So I know it's definitely not you can't get it from anything. It's not a virus or transmission. Obviously, it's something that you're born with. It's always born. It happens. Does it happen from an accident at childbirth, or I'm not 100% sure on it. How exactly does somebody? How did you become? How did you end up having cerebral palsy?
You got to be born. You got to. Okay. Let me say this. When you have we can have babies. A woman might understand it, but when you have a baby, okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a baby, okay, and then that baby goes 6 months or 8 months, and because when I was a baby, I was not, I was crawling, but I couldn't. You know how baby grabs the couch and get that up on their legs? I couldn't do that. So my mother took me to the hospital and they diagnosed me with cerebral palsy. It might, it might have taken a while to diagnose me, but they diagnosed me with it. But
Yeah, I see. So it's a
I want
disorder.
to say, it's a,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so it's listed as a disorder usually caused by brain damage occurring at or before birth, that's marked with muscular impairment. Let's see, and obviously non-contagious conditions caused by brain damage before birth or during early infancy is essentially how it happens. So just to clarify how that
But
works.
I want to say something about my left brain and my right brain. Okay, when I was in school, I was in special education, and I cannot read. I cannot read as well. But the thing of it is, the left side of your brain is for science, for math, and reading and stuff like that. But the left side of my brain is damaged. But the right side of your brain is for creativity and, and motivation and stuff like that. So God gave me a gift. He knew what he was doing with me when he was creating me.
Got it. All right. So Denzel,
What
here's
they
what we
say.
got. Before we wrap up, I want everybody to know what your dream is for the future. What are your plans? What do you want to do?
They ask you more questions.
Sit,
Can you read some of the comments?
oh, do you want to read some of the comments? You want me to read? You want me to
Yeah,
read some of the comments before we do that?
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Let's see. There's some really good ones. But talking about when you were able to talk when the doctors you proved them wrong. Patrice says, "Ha ha ha! Love Denzel. You proved them wrong." Robert says he doesn't let it run his life. Let's see. Bum bum bum. Here's a question: do you like to play games on the internet?
Um, I'm a big I'm a big WWE fan. And
You been
I love wrestling.
nice.
I'm a WWE fan. I love football. And I love just watching pictures. That's what I do in my life because I feel I feel like you might I might you're not trapping your district. You only trapping your mind. You know, I might get cerebral palsy, but guess what? Cerebral palsy don't get me. Look, I get cerebral palsy. I get cerebral palsy. But guess what? You you have a piece of me because you can understand me.
Exactly. You're on one. Vicky says, please let Denzel know he's an inspiration to all of us and God bless us with him. There's a lot more before, but let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. Pat says, wow, I'm in tears. He's an incredible inspiration. I have fallen so short. I pray to do about it better. Thank you so much, Denzel. Oh, man, there's a bunch.
I'm
Somebody
busy
Ashley
right
said,
now.
what's that?
Can you come Monday? Can you come back? I'm busy right now.
Is it? I think his nephew's there.
Really?
So Ashley, hey,
I'm
you're gonna
busy
like this,
right now.
Denzel. Ashley Thompson said, WWE, I'll be watching Sunday. Will you be? I guess is there a big event
Uh,
on? Oh, now you got it to wrestling. You got some questions. Who's your favorite wrestler?
uh, my favorite wrestler. I know we Oak, but John Cena. John Cena.
Which one?
John Cena.
John Cena. I got you. All right. Let's see what else. Jason says you're a God gift, Denzel. Roman Reigns. Some people like Roman Reigns out there. It looks like Roman Reigns is pretty popular. Ashley Thompson just said you can't see me. I know this one. I know that one.
I like Roman Reigns' new character. Now, now, now he's a bad guy. I like his new character.
You like the good guys. I gotcha. Well, if somebody asks, we need a page for Denzel. What's that? What do you say, Denzel?
Go ahead. What you say?
So somebody said
Go ahead.
we need a page for Denzel. He does have one. He's got a Facebook page right here. So follow that, facebook.com/DH motivation, as well as his YouTube, which I'll get for you guys right now. YouTube is you'll probably have to click on it in the comment box. I'll go ahead and put that in there. Let's see. Do you like Vicky Vale asked if you like The Miz?
Oh. No.
He was on Real World. Shannon said that the John Cena is hot.
I don't like them.
You don't like The Miz?
Oh, no. I like Nia Jax.
So
I like
Robert,
Nia Jax.
before we do get into the final question, Robert keeps asking, would you want to come on Truth Will Set You Free? And I've said this to Denzel. He's wanted to talk about it. I don't want him to have to be a part of that argument that we have. Him and I have our own political discussions. Maybe him and I can come and talk sometime about it. But that gets a little, I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind if he wants to come on.
Let me say this. Oh my God. Politics. Okay. Politics. Don't get me wrong. I love Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong. I love him because if I ever see him in Chicago, I will say I'm all about respect, and I ain't got nothing against Donald Trump, but today we gotta let God do his will. But the thing I want you to know is we got to understand that sometimes you need to understand that in life sometimes somebody else needs to change. I know you're supposed to be the president for 8 years, but the thing of it is, when I want to say this, a lot of people say the election was rigged. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it was rigged. I don't know what went on in that time. But the thing what I want to say is, whatever happens, God will take care of it. But we all get there. God will sit down and He will talk to us about who did wrong and who did right. We need to let God be the judge. We don't need to take on that responsibility because God knows. God knows. God is all about character. He's all about love. God knows what He's doing. So that's what I have to say about that.
So Denzel and I have had a few political conversations. We don't necessarily see eye to eye, but the great part is we see eye to eye on the solution, which is love, kindness, and letting God do the work.
But the thing of it is, I ain't got nothing against Donald Trump. I ain't got nothing against Joe Biden. I'm for God. I'm not on Democrat side. I'm not on the Republican side. I'm on the Democrat side.
That's what you always say to me, and I appreciate that more than you know. And that's why, Robert, the pure spirit of understanding politics that Denzel has, and knowing that it's all about God, and knowing that it's all about loving each other, we don't need to have that discussion on Truth Will Set You Free. We don't need to have Denzel corrupted by by the discussion of politics on that show. So with that said, Denzel, I want one last thing from you. We talked about what your dream for the future is. Team Jesus, I like that. There was one other one that I really like that I want to read you. And what I'm going to do, Denzel, because I know that I want to read all these to you at one point, so I'm going to go ahead and do voice messages. And I'll go through a bunch of these and make sure that you hear all the really good ones. But Anna Townsend says, screw politics, love and unity, friendships everlasting. Let's see, Denzel. Let's see, there's something else I saw. Oh yeah, he likes voice messages. That's what I want to say. So if you guys want to follow his Facebook page and start and make friends with Denzel, if you need to pick me up on any given day, Denzel will randomly call you. I'm going to tell you that right now, and he will just brighten the living heck out of your day. So I'm going to go ahead and re-put in one last time before we do the final question again, his Facebook page, easiest way to follow him. And then you get to be his Facebook friend. Let's see, there it is right there. Ashley Thompson. She also mentioned that too about your voice messages. All right. So Lynn said, much love to you all, and Denzel, your true inspiration. Denzel, let's wrap it up here. What is your dream for the future? What do you want out of life? What do you want? What do you want?
My main thing is I want to have, first of all, I want to do God's will in my life, because God is the most important thing in my life. I want him to be well pleased, and I want to get married. I want to travel the world. I want to be a good family man to my wife and my kids. I want to do what a man needs to do. My other goals in my life, and I want the change I want to see. I want to see more people with disabilities grow for their dreams and not being afraid of Social Security. Because, I've been on Social Security for 27 years. And the thing of it is, if I ever get a motivational speaking gig, they gonna have to, I'm gonna have to be paid under the table. Because you get a job with more than you have Social Security, you will lose your benefit. So I would have to get paid.
Denzel, I can speak to that. My dad was on Social Security, Medicare, all that stuff, and it's interesting. We look at, in our country, unfortunately, we look at disabilities as either you're disabled or you're not. And if you have a job, you all of a sudden don't get the same benefits that you would no matter what, even if you just take a very small job. And it's absolutely insane the way that we treat people with disabilities in this country in that sense. And my dad used to be very big on how positive Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security were. But at the same time, if you want to do something with your life, if you want to be like Denzel, and if you want to excel and do things, unfortunately, it thwarts your ability to make money. It's funny because then all of a sudden it's a problem. Needless to say, that's a whole different discussion for a different day. But yeah, so in terms of you want to do more motivational speaking. If we end up getting that for you, if we can find a way to do that, the under the table stuff we can figure out. Don't worry about it. That's the easiest thing. So you want to get married, you want to have a family, and you want to spread a message to people that they can be the change they wish to see in themselves, not just in the world, but in themselves, which is you can't change the world until you change yourself.
And I want to be on time.
You want to be a business owner too. That's what we talked about. You wanted to create a business a nonprofit organization for people with disabilities in order to get off Social Security, in order to be able to make something of themselves and have a nonprofit for that. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anthony, so much.
Thank
I had
you,
a good
man.
time. Thank you so much.
I had a great time. Do you have
Thank
any
you
final?
so much.
No, thank you. Do you have any final words for everybody?
I want to say, whatever I said whatever I said today, um, just understand, like, you only get one life to live. You, and the other thing is, if I ever get on stage and speaking in front of millions of people, if God want to take me home, He can take me. Cause I would rather die doing something that I love. I don't want to die doing something that I hate. But
Exactly. You don't want to die
I'm
doing
gonna say,
something. You want to die happy. That is the truth. And yeah, I'm going to make you a deal, Denzel. The whole purpose of Be the Change was to eventually have, once the world opens back up, but the initial plan in 2016, well, really 2019 is when we really got into it, but was to have large motivational events. And with that, it was to have 5 or 6 life-changing speakers and have 2,000, 3,000 people watching. That was the general goal. And maybe eventually be Tony Robbins size and we sell out an arena. But whenever we get started, Denzel, once we have our first major event where we have an arena that's somewhere near Chicago,
please,
wherever it is,
please, please
you're
come to Chicago.
if
Please come to Chicago.
whenever we get something close enough to you where we can put you in a car and bring you out there, Denzel, we got you. You are going to be on that stage, and that is a promise. All right. You also promised me something, that if I ever ran for president, you would be around. No, even if it's 10 years, you're still going to be around and you're going to vote for me, right?
I, I have to because you are the damn people with disabilities. I have to.
100%. I got you there, brother. Cash will be there as well. That's what Sparkle just said. Cash, I think Sparkle lives, I think she lives near Chicago area too, but you're going to have a lot of friend requests, Denzel. I hope you're going to have a lot of people to talk to and a lot of people to continue to motivate every damn day, just like you do with me. And I can't thank you enough. So thank you for being on, Denzel. What's that?
You know, can I say this?
Yeah.
I really, I don't care you are Donald Trump supporter. I don't care you are nobody supporter. All I want to say is that I love you. No matter what, no matter if we disagree or agree, I love you either way. That's the truth. That's my heart.
I love that. Doesn't matter who you voted for, he loves you either way. If those words could be spread to everyone in this country, it'd be a much different place. One last question for you from Diane. Would you ever be interested in coming to the homeless shelter in East Chicago and volunteering for a day? If there's a way to get you picked up and do that, would you be able to do? Would you be interested in doing that, Denzel?
Yes!
I
Yes!
think that's a yes, Diane. So if you guys can figure that out. So the one thing I'm going to remind everybody that's watching that is, if you guys become friends with Denzel, is, as he mentioned, with his disability, it's sometimes hard to read. Do everything with voice messages. He'll listen to the voice messages, and that's how you guys do things. So listen, he does
Oh,
voice messages much better.
oh, you can send me a video, man.
Or video message. You guys can video chat that way as well. So Denzel, with that, I'm going to bid you adieu and thank you so much for being on this show. Thank you for the message that you provided for everybody, including me today. So thank you for that. I'm just going to say goodbye.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. I'm going to drop you down and we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, thank you. Can you put the video up on my page?
Yeah, I'll make sure that it's shared on your page. I think you did share it, but it should be up there. But I will make sure that you have it, all right? I promise you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Denzel.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy.
God bless.
God bless you, brother. Well, ladies and gents, thank you guys for joining tonight. That's fun. So, when you go through life, you look at the different people that you meet and you realize that depending on what's going on in your daily world and your daily life, how important it is to meet Denzel's. He's one person. You're going to meet a lot of people just like him. And sometimes you're going to pass by him, pass by her, and you're not going to realize what you're missing out. And I believe as though Denzel is that person. And I encourage all of you guys to friend request him, to be a part of his life, because I guarantee you, will give back to you more than you can even think. So with that said, be the change you wish to see in the world. I will join you guys tonight for Conservengers. I didn't even put the right thing up there. Give me 1 second. Episode number 6 this evening. We've got a great crew. It should be fun. But the thing to take away with this is always remember to be kind to the people around you. Love, just be embraced and embrace others with love. And at the end of the day, when it gets to the politics that we talk about so much, it's just not worth it. So remember that, guys. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Wednesday. Thank you guys for being a part of Changemakers. Next week, we're going to have another great episode as well. Tonight, coming up in about an hour and 5 minutes, episode number 6 of Conservengers. We'll have a little laugh on that one. Thank you again, Denzel. And thank you guys all for watching. Have a great evening.